As Brighton just mentioned, you really need to be careful with pre-construction, whether it's in the States or especially in Mexico. There are many, many fly-by-night developers that come in, they take your money, and then sometimes you may get your condo, sometimes you may not. Sometimes it might take 5 to 10 years. The developer I work for, MG Developments, has been down here for almost 30 years. This is their 10th development here in town, combined with commercial and residential in Guadalajara as well. And everything that we have begun construction on, I am happy to report we have completed. Why? Because we are well financed. And as Brian mentioned about appreciation, he is correct about the financing, because when you buy pre-construction, you make a lot of money, a lot of equity in your condo, in your lot, in your home before you even take possession. For example, I have clients that are up $100,000 to $150,000 since they put their initial 30% down on a condo 2 years ago when we were selling off of renderings and off of a dream. And now they're going to be receiving their condo next year, or this month, I'm sorry. So what's really nice about pre-construction is you can make a lot of equity. If you want, I have some clients that buy them just with the sheer desire to flip it and make a profit. I have others that end up buying it. They use it for a while. They have a lot of rental income. And then what ends up happening is they usually want to upgrade from a studio to a one bedroom to a two bedroom to a three bedroom. So it gives people an opportunity to test the waters here in Mexico. For those of you that are really interested in coming and checking it out, I just want to mention we do also offer long-term leases or a lease with option to purchase. This gives you an opportunity to come down here, live for 6 months, see all the benefits that I see living here. And then if you decide you love it as much as most of us do, then you can go ahead and purchase something. If not, if this is not your cup of tea, or maybe we're not the right city for you in Mexico, that's fine. Then you basically lease the condo for several months and you move on, and we remain friends. So we try to make it as flexible and as easy as possible for you to come down and check out the lifestyle here. The people are incredible. The food is incredible. The cost of living here is incredible. I own a condo that's worth about 750,000 US dollars, and my property taxes, believe it or not, are a whopping $500 a year. The electric is so cheap here, it's billed every other month. I live here full time with dogs and a partner and air conditioning and heating and everything going on, and I pay a whopping $75 a month. So what is there not to like?
So yeah, I think, the ability to come and rent somewhere and to rent exactly where you're going to purchase, that is really great, because you really get an idea for what the community has to offer, I guess. So let's, Kat and I, if you followed the channel for a while, you know that we went down to La Paz, a city we'd never heard of, and we bought a house that weekend. So not necessarily what I would suggest for people to do. Definitely renting first is an ideal situation. But let me ask Keith how often he comes across those people who buy on a whim.
To Brian's point about people coming down and buying on a whim, you would be shocked at how many people come down first time here. They see what we have to offer, and then they see the price point. For example, I have studios in the 300s. Okay, I have one bedrooms that are almost 1,200 square feet in the 400s. Again, with financing, we offer cash discounts so I can get you a better price. People come here from the States. And if any of you have looked at beachfront property in Southern California, in Florida, you will find a one bedroom that might have been built in the 1970s that needs to be gutted and remodeled. And they won $1.5 million for that. And I can get you a brand new shiny penny for pennies on the dollar. So to Brighton's point, we have a lot of people that literally, when they go sign the paperwork, they literally say, I cannot believe we're doing this, but they do it. And then what's fascinating is they go home and they tell all of their friends and family about it, and then they bring everyone down. So then we have a sense of community here. So their family members, their neighbors, their hairstylists will come down and buy. So it creates a whole sense of community. You would think because we're a drive-in destination that we're just Arizona, Southern California, Nevada, maybe a little bit of Texas. But I have people from Chicago. I have people from North Dakota. I have people from Florida. And I'll tell you why. What ends up happening is they usually have family in Phoenix, maybe in a retirement community such as Sun City West. They come to visit. They find out about Rocky Point, aka Puerto Penasco. We're known as Arizona's beach. They drive down here on a whim and they are just blown away. They're blown away by our food scene. They're blown away by the culture. They're blown away by the pristine, beautiful beaches we have. The editor of Phoenix Magazine, which I've never met this gentleman, but he did an editorial a few years back on Playa Encanto, which is where we're located here. And he said our beach rivals that of Maui. And if any of you have been to Hawaii again, to buy a condo over there is astronomically high. It's out of most of our budgets. The other thing there, as well as in other cities in Mexico, HOAs are extremely high. In Hawaii, HOAs could run 12, 15, 1,800 a month. Our HOAs start here at $325 a month. That includes unlimited water, sewer, garbage, insurance on the community itself. The only fiber optic internet. The only thing it does not include is your electricity and your property taxes, which I already mentioned earlier. We are currently in our two-bedroom deluxe. It's a one-of-a-kind floor plan here in Mexico, and honestly, we've not even found one in the United States as well. And the reason it's unique is it has a wraparound terrace, and most end units are a 3-4 bedroom. They're much more expensive, so it's out of people's budgets. So we decided to offer something that is more economical, that gives you a 2-bed, 2.5 bath with a beautiful wraparound terrace that gives you a panoramic view of our beautiful beach. We also pride ourselves in the majority of our floor plans, all of the bedrooms face the ocean. So that is a very important thing when you have house guests over, and I've had clients are like, oh, I'll let my house guests have the primary. We'll sit in the back because they want to enjoy the view. Well, here you don't have to worry about that. Or if you have two couples renting, you don't have to flip a coin to say who's going to get the better view or who's going to get the better primary, because this offers 2 primary bedrooms. We snuck in a guest bath in the back. It's approximately 1,700 square feet under roof. It's large enough for someone to live here full time. So we have many, many people that live here 6 months out of the year. They go somewhere else for another 6 months. We have a lot of clients that live here full time because our units are designed and are large enough to live here if you want, or they also can make a great luxury rental.
So this unit is on the market, so let's hear what this will set you back.
This particular unit up on the penthouse level, East 2305, is priced at $619,900. We have assumable developer financing on this with an interest rate of approximately 7.9%. You can come in with a down payment and assume the note. If you would like, you can pay cash, and then obviously cash is king, and we'll grant you a discount. This particular client purchased this condo pre-construction, and they paid somewhere in the high 4s before furniture. So they are going to make a nice return on their investment.
And you can rent this unit too if you're interested.
This particular unit, as Brighton mentioned, is in the rental pool. So again, you can take it for a test drive. Before buying it, if you just want to spend 3 nights in it, you literally can live in the space. That's very hard to come by in a lot of, whether it's the United States or in Mexico. So you can take this for a test drive. You and your family can check it out. You're like, this is great, and you're ready to roll. If you decide to rent, Costco is our on-site rental company. They've been in the business for 25 plus years. They do the majority of rentals here in Mexico as well as in the States. And we offer a menu approach on rentals. If you would like to do nothing and they handle everything for you, property management, reservations, cleaning, the whole 9 yards, they charge 35%, so you keep 65 cents of every dollar. If you're on that program, but you have friends and family, maybe a coworker who wants to rent your condo, you can go in and book it directly, and they will treat you like a travel agent because they pay travel agents 15% commission. So then you would only pay 20% on that, so you'd receive 80% of every dollar. Then we have what we call a front desk service program. That is someone who wants to do Airbnb, Vrbo, maybe you just want to do owner direct rentals. You handle everything, and in exchange for that, the Casago for their front desk service program will check IDs. Our minimum rental age is 24 years of age. You'd be surprised how many people want to sneak youngsters in. Also, they check maximum occupancy. For example, in this 2-bedroom, maximum occupancy is 6. Why? 2 in each of the bedrooms, 2 on a sleeper sofa, if the client offers a sleeper sofa. Some do not. And so for that, you pay 10%. And so checking your minimum rental age, checking your occupancy, and they also take care of any emergency maintenance issues. What does that mean? At 11 o'clock at night, if the dishwasher is leaking, they're not going to call you at home while you're asleep. They're going to call down to the front desk. Costco will come up and take care of that for you. Of course, there will be a small fee for that, but they will take care of that for you. So we offer a menu approach. Our clients love that. If you sign up for one program and a year later you decide you want to modify to a different program, you can.
I just love how open this is here in terms of the sliding doors just keep sliding and sliding and sliding until it's so open. Definitely something I've seen a lot in Mexico, and especially if you've got an ocean view. Yeah, I can remember when I was in college and we went down to Matamoros, I think it is, and we rented a place and we weren't 24, and the place was not pretty afterwards. So you definitely want to have that service where they're making sure, especially this close to the United States, in a potential like spring break-ish destination, that someone is helping you manage your rental unit fleet.